Hello friends, how are you? Today I'm going to discuss an important topic to protect your right from being affected under the law. Friends, I'm talking about section 306 of the IPC. If you are a married man, definitely you will know this section because in nowadays it has become a common trend that after the death of the married woman, her parents come into motion. They usually put the unwanted allegation on the husband and his family member that after marriage you subjected my daughter with all sorts of cruelties, with harassment, with humiliation, and inter alia drove her to commit the suicide, and allegations are made in the name of abetment. And the concerned police, without verifying the facts, presume them to be true. And inter alia, the concerned husband and his family members had been called upon by the police to give the explanation. And usually we got harassed, and inter alia we are compelled to do the compromise. And if we fail to do so, friends, in that scenario, the concerned police lodge the FIR under section 306 IPC, read with section 498A of the IPC. In one of the case in the Rajasthan, a FIR under section 306 of the IPC had been registered against the concerned accused, it means the husband, on the ground that after marriage he constantly harassed his wife. Inter alia, she had been humiliated, she had been agonized, and ultimately, in consequence of the constant abetment, she committed the suicide. After that, the concerned FIR was lodged, the concerned husband is charge sheeted, and ultimately he is convicted by the concerned court. He went into the appeal, and before the court of appeal, he raised the following 4 defense points. Number 1, I have never subjected my wife with any sort of cruelties. I have put her in the best hospitality. I have given her the best accommodation as per the available circumstances. But she is having the illicit relationship, and in consequence of which she had committed suicide. Number 2, that a number of evidences had been produced before the concerned court to show that if the cruelties had been committed, then definitely no expenditure would be made on the said girl. But in the present case at hand, number of evidence had been produced to sustain the fact that she was enjoying a peaceful and a better life at the matrimonial house. Number 3, he had submitted that for the attraction of section 306 of the IPC, it is necessary to show that she has been harassed or humiliated by the husband or the in-laws constantly, resulted in the compulsion or resulted in the abetment to commit the suicide. If the said scenario is absent, in that condition the concerned husband or his parents could not be prosecuted in section 306 of the IPC. In support of the contention, he relied on number of judgments laid down by the Honorable Apex Court and the various High Court. Friends, I am going to narrate one of the judgment that was relied by the appellant before the concerned High Court. Please note down the same. The judgment is Amlendu versus State of West Bengal. Citation is 2010 SCC page 707. In that case, friends, also a case in section 306 of the IPC had been registered. And finally, the matter went up before the Honorable Supreme Court. The Honorable Supreme Court says, for the application of section 306 of the IPC, it is duty of the prosecution to show that the girl has been harassed, humiliated, and ultimately in consequence of the harassment, she was abetted to commit the suicide. But when such ingredients are absent, then the accused could not be prosecuted in section 306 of the IPC. In another judgment based on section 498 of the IPC, it is clearly held that for the attraction of section 498 of the IPC or section 306 of the IPC, the cruelty is the basis, the harassment is the basis, the humiliation is the basis. And if you are showing that you are having a bona fide conduct, if you are showing that you always put your wife in a better hospitality, in that scenario, the ingredient of section 306 of the IPC would not be attracted, and definitely you will be acquitted in section 306 of the IPC in case you are robbed and wrongly in the said section. And the fourth point is that it is a duty of the prosecution, and until and unless the prosecution prove the offence, in that scenario, the presumption of section 113A of the Indian Evidence Act could not be drawn. Looking into the facts and circumstances, what the High Court says, please note down what the High Court says. The court says that there is a major contradiction in the statement of the witness regarding the suicidal, that And apart from that, there is no active evidence on the record to show that what was the active role of the concerned accused regarding the humiliation, harassment, or regarding the abatement regarding the suicide. If the said ingredients are absent, in that scenario, the accused could not be prosecuted in section 306 of the IPC in the routine manner. So the accused is acquitted ultimately. So friends, if you are having the same issue, don't worry. Raise this point, because these are the defense point. And if you raise the same, definitely you will be succeeded in your task. So friends, these are points for your defense, for the protection of your rights under section 306 of the IPC in case you are falsely implicated. So don't worry. Just fight your case with a great motivation and definitely you will win. Friends, if you like this video, just share it. See you next time in the next video. Till then, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.